Hi guys, my name's Millie. I'm one of the product engineers here at Instant.io, and today I'm going to be talking you through our follow-ups feature. So we've just released a bunch of stuff around our follow-ups and we're super excited about them. So I'm going to be walking you through what a follow-up is, and I'm going to show you sort of like a tangible example of what it looks like when you want to use it, and then I'm going to show you the follow-ups dashboard so you can how you can look at them on bulk. So first thing to notice is that this is in my development environment, so all the data you're going to be looking at is fake. I generated it, so nothing to worry about. I have created this fake, relatively realistic incident called the blogs have disappeared from our website. The summary is that a customer pointed out there wasn't any content and they were sad about that, basically. So what I would have done is I would have reported the incident and then I would have tried to get to resolution, so get the blogs back up on the website. But as I was firefighting, I might have had a couple of thoughts. I might have thought, we should add a unit test so we can stop this happening again. I also might have thought that we should reach out to the customer. So you can see, and just say thank you, basically. So you can see I created these 2 follow-ups in the timeline and then basically fixed it and closed the incident. So these 2 follow-ups exist in the tab here, and you can create a new follow-up with this button. You can also create follow-ups when you're in Slack. So if you do /inc follow-up, you can create a follow-up that way. It's a bit similar to how you create actions. So these are all good and well, but these are sort of like tasks of work that you have committed to doing after an incident is closed. And we want to make it really easy for you to track what pieces of work there are left to do, and which ones have been done and how you're performing. So we have a whole dashboard for that, and you can get to that on the left here. So we have this, I'll just start at the bottom quickly. We have this list at the bottom, so it's showing you all your incidents with follow-ups, and you can see that here is our incident that I created and the 2 follow-ups I created. So listing the incidents are really great, but and I'll show you how you can filter and sort and everything after that, but we want to make it super easy for you to know quite quickly how you're performing. So we have this at a glance statistics table at the top. And what we do is we basically split the incidents by something over here. So right now we've chosen severity, and we will split the incidents into these 3 groups and then look at how many there are open follow-ups there are in each of those groups and what percentage are being completed. Obviously these numbers don't mean anything because we're in my development environment, but it could be pretty insightful for you to know which of your follow-ups aren't getting done in time. So yeah, you can see open follow-ups, completed follow-ups. We also have this column for follow-ups with policy violations. Policies are basically sort of SLAs, like requirements in your company. You might have a policy that says we expect all follow-ups for major or critical incidents to be completed within a certain number of days of an incident being closed. So we list any ones that violate your policies here. Last column is exported follow-ups. A lot of our customers export their follow-ups into an issue tracker. This makes a lot of sense because if you're working through your day-to-day work in an issue tracker, you can sort of slot those follow-ups in, and then when you complete them, we will sync that status back into Instant.io, so these numbers will get updated as well. So I highly recommend exporting. You can see that we're splitting by severity at the moment. You can also split by incident type or any single select custom field. So I have one called team, and you can see that the numbers get updated there. So let's switch back to severity for a second. So right now we're looking at all incidents in my account, but you might only be interested in sort of recent incidents to see how you're doing, or incidents where you were the lead, say. So you can use this add filter button at the top. Let's go and look at ones where I was leading. That's me. Okay, so we have this banner at the top that's saying what we're filtering by, and it says we found 152 incidents where I was leading. And all the numbers below that will get updated, so everything in this table will get updated. Same if you use this will only apply to incidents where I was leading. So let's drop down into the list of incidents that have follow-ups. So although you can filter for the particular type of instance you want to see at the top of the page, you can do some additional filtering on the type of follow-ups you want to see here. So you can see that there's follow-ups that are in the completed state, they have this green tick. The grey cross is when we're not doing them, and then these are ones with policy violations, which I'll come back to in a moment. So we're showing all follow-ups at the moment. You might just want to look at ones that are assigned to yourself. Can also be really useful to have a look at unexported follow-ups. So if you want to make sure that all your follow-ups are going into your issue tracker. So I might look at this incident that I've just created and want to export these follow-ups into my issue tracker. I can apply bulk actions over here. I'll show you what sending reminders look like, but I could mark these as completed or as not doing, and I can also export them to any issue tracker that I've got set up in my integrations. So let's say I want to export these into GitHub. When you are bulk exporting, we'll basically take the description on the follow-up and use that as the title. And then you can manually set your own description in GitHub or Linear or wherever later. But other things that you need to complete is basically where it's going in your issue tracker. So let's say I'm putting it in the testing repo. We'll also pull through all the users in that issue tracker, so you can set an assignee, and we'll also pull through some metadata things that are useful to set as well. So if I hit export both of those, great, so 2 follow-ups were successfully exported. So that's good news. What else might I want to look at? So follow-ups with policy violations. So we can see we have a major incident here, the dog ate my homework, and these, can you see my face in the way? These violate this policy. All major incidents should close follow-ups within 3 days of incident closure. So once you come across policy violations like these, it can be quite useful to chase people to help get them done. One way you can do that is by selecting them and going to send reminders. So there's a few different people you can remind. You can remind any role that's set on that incident. So you might have something like a post-incident coordinator role in your company. We see that quite a lot. That's normally the person that's tasked with doing the post-mortem and cleaning up any sort of follow-ups. I don't have one of those in my dev environment, well, set for these incidents anyway. I could message the lead, or I could message the follow-up owner. I'm just going to message the lead, which is myself, and I'm going to say something like, hey Millie, does your team have capacity to get these done by Friday? Cool, and I hit send reminders, and then if I go to Slack. Great, so I've just got a reminder that I need to do these follow-ups. Hey Millie, does your team have capacity? And then list all the follow-ups. So this is instant Millie. This will actually come through as instant IO in your account. This is just my dev account. Cool, so I think that's pretty much everything on follow-ups. Definitely have a play. There's some things that you can sort. You can also search here. But yeah, we think this is going to be really impactful, and looking forward to hearing how you get on. Have fun!